Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Let me know if the sound is good and I'll begin. Who's here first? Amber? Welcome, Amber. How are you? Hi, everyone ill. Probably fall asleep while you're here. Jen, good night. Love you all. Don't forget to say your prayers. Oh, thank you, Amber. Yeah, maybe people are asleep. Bernadette's not asleep. She is in the city that never sleeps, right, Bernadette? Who else is here? Oh, I see Carrie is here. Hey, Carrie, welcome, welcome. How's it going? I hope you all had a good day. Gemini Love is here. I'm up. Gemini Love says, okay, good. So we have our night owls. Again, I wanted to have the frequency of the shofar. I've been hearing good things from you all, that you like it. It has some sort of relaxing quality to it. But I won't begin reading until I get a 5 times 5, or just let me know if everything sounds good. And I'll begin to read where I left off last night. Like I said, I've felt that this would be a really good thing to do, is to read through the book of Enoch. Okay, thank you, Amber. All right, so Amber says the sound is good. She gave me the 5 times 5. Hey, DeMoney, honey, welcome. Hey, Sam Earhart. Wow, that's a new name, Sam Earhart. Let's give Sam some love, everyone. Thanks for joining us, Sam. DeMoney, honey, hey there. Thank you, Bernadette. Okay, Gemini, I'm glad you're up. Gemini Love, always nice to see you. All right, so I will begin the reading so that we could get started, get through this. Okay. Okay, I'll start with Enoch 62 if you want to follow along. I'm reading from the books of the Ethiopian Bible, of the Ethiopian Church. Enoch 62. In those days shall the mighty and the kings who possess the earth implore him to grant them a little respite from his angels of punishment to whom they were delivered, that they might fall down and worship before Jah of spirits and confess their sins before him. And they shall bless and glorify Jah of spirits and say, Blessed is Jah of spirits and Jah of kings, and Jah of the mighty, and Jah of the rich, and Jah of glory, and Jah of wisdom, and splendid in every secret thing is thy power from generation to generation, and thy glory forever and ever. Deep are all thy secrets and innumerable, and thy righteousness is beyond reckoning. We have now learnt that we should glorify and bless Jah of kings, and him who is king over all kings. And they shall say, would that we had rest to glorify and give thanks, and confess our faith before his glory. And now we long for a little rest, but find it not. We follow hard upon and obtain it not. And light has vanished from before us, and darkness is our dwelling place forever and ever. For we have not believed before him, nor glorified the name of Jah of spirits, nor glorified our Lord, but our hope was in the scepter of our kingdom and in our glory. And in the day of our suffering and tribulation, he saves us not, and we find no respite for confession. That our Lord is true in all his works, and in his judgments and his justice. And his judgments have no respect of persons. And we pass away from before his face on account of our works. And all of our sins are reckoned up in righteousness. Now they say unto themselves, our souls are full of unrighteous gain. But it does not prevent us from descending from the midst thereof into the burden of Sheol. And after that, our faces shall be filled with darkness and shame before that Son of Man. And they shall be driven from his presence, and the sword shall abide before his face in their midst. Thus spake Jah of spirits. This is the ordinance and judgment with respect to the mighty and the kings and the exalted and those who possess the earth before Jah of spirits. And other forms I saw hidden in that place. I heard the voice of the angels saying, these are the angels who descended to the earth and revealed what was hidden to the children of men, and seduced the children of men into committing sin. Enoch foretells to Noah the deluge and his own preservation. And in those days Noah saw the earth, that it had sunk down, and its destruction was nigh. And he arose from thence and went to the ends of the earth, and cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch. And Noah said 3 times with an embittered voice, Hear me, hear me, hear me. And I said unto him, Tell me what it is that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such evil plight and shaken, lest perchance I shall perish with it. And thereupon there was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice was heard from heaven, and I fell on my face. And Enoch, my grandfather, came and stood by me, and said unto me, Why hast thou cried unto me with a bitter cry and weeping? And a command has gone forth from the presence of Jah concerning those who dwell on the earth, that their ruin is accomplished, because they have learnt all the secrets of the angels, and all the violence of the Satans, and all their powers, the most secret ones, and all the power of those who practice sorcery, and the power of witchcraft, and the power of those who make molten images for the whole earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal originates in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. It is a fountain that produces them, and an angel stands therein, and that angel is preeminent. And after that, my grandfather Enoch took hold of me by my hand and raised me up, and said unto me, Go, for I have asked Jah of spirits as touching this commotion on the earth. And he said unto me, Because of their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined upon, and shall not be withheld by me forever. Because of the sorceries which they have searched out and learnt, the earth and those who dwell upon it shall be destroyed. And these, they have no place of repentance forever, because they have shown them what was hidden, and they are the damned. But as for thee, my son, Jah of spirits knows that thou art pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets. And he has destined thy name to be among the holy, and will preserve thee amongst those who dwell on the earth, and has destined thy righteous seed both for kingship and for great honors. And from thy seed shall proceed a fountain of the righteous and holy without number forever. And after that, he showed me the angels of punishment, who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters, which are beneath in the earth, in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who abide and dwell on the earth. And Jah of spirits gave commandment to the angels who were going forth, and they should not cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check. For those angels were over the powers of the waters. And I went away from the presence of Enoch. God's promise to Noah, places of punishment of the angels and of the kings. And in those days the word of God came unto me, and he said unto me, Noah, thy lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. And now the angels are making a wooden building. And when they have completed that task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it. And there shall come forth from it the seed of life. And a change shall set in, so that the earth will not remain without inhabitant. And I will make fast thy seed before me, and forever and ever. And I will spread abroad those who dwell with thee. It shall not be unfruitful on the face of the earth, but it shall be blessed and multiply on the earth in the name of Jah. And he will imprison those angels who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown to me in the west, among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw that valley in which there was a great convulsion, and a convulsion of the waters. And when all this took place, from that fiery molten metal, and from the convulsion thereof in that place, there was produced a smell of sulfur, and it was connected with those waters, and that valley of the angels who had led astray mankind burned beneath that land. And through its valleys proceed streams of fire, where these angels are punished, who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. But those waters shall in those days serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, that they may be punished in their body, for they have denied Jah of spirits, and see their punishment daily, and yet believe not in his name. And in proportion as the burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change shall take place in their spirit forever and ever. For before Jah of spirits, none shall utter an idle word. For the judgment shall come upon them, because they believe in the lust of their body and deny the spirit of Jah. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days. For when those angels are punished in these waters, these water springs shall change their temperature. And when the angels ascend, this water of the springs shall change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, this judgment therewith the angels are judged is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the earth. Because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body. Therefore, they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. The names and functions of the fallen angels and Satan's, the secret oath. After this judgment, they shall terrify and make them to tremble, because they have shown this to those who dwell on the earth. And behold, the names of those angels, and these are their names. The first of them is Samjaza, the second Artakifa, and the third Armen. The fourth Kokabel, the fifth Torael, the sixth Rumjael, the seventh Dangel, the eighth Nekael, the ninth Barakel, the 10th Azazel, the 11th Armaros, the 12th Batarjel, the 13th Busa Sajel, the 14th Hananel, the 15th Turel, the 16th Semapaziel, the 17th Jetrel, the 18th Tumael, the 19th Turel, the 20th Rumael, the 21st Azazel. And these are the chief of their angels, and their names, and their chief ones over hundreds, and over 50s, and over 10s. The name of the first, Jaquan. That is the one who led astray all the sons of God, and brought them down to the earth, and led them astray through the daughters of men. And the second was named Asbeel. He imparted to the holy sons of God evil counsel, and led them astray, so that they defiled their bodies with the daughters of men. And the third was named Gadriel. It is who shown the children of men all the blows of death. And he led astray Eve, and showed the weapons of death to the sons of men, the shield and the coat of mail, and the sword for battle, and all the weapons of death to the children of men. And from his hand they have proceeded against those who dwell on the earth from that day and forevermore. And the fourth was named Penemum. He taught the children of men the bitter and the sweet, and he taught them all the secrets of their wisdom. And he instructed mankind in writing with ink and paper, and thereby many sinned from eternity to eternity and until this day. For men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good faith with ink and pen. For men were created exactly like the angels, to the intent that they should continue pure and righteous, and death, which destroys everything, could not have taken hold of them. But through this, their knowledge, they are perishing. And through this power, it is consuming me. And the fifth was named Kazdeja. This is he who showed the children of men all the wicked smitings of spirits and demons, and the smitings of the embryo in the womb, that it may pass away, and the smitings of the soul that bites of the serpent, and the smitings which befall those the noontide heat, the son of the serpent named Tabiet. And this is the task of Kasbael, the chief of the oath, which he showed to the holy ones when he dwelt high above in glory. And its name is Bika. This angel requested Michael to show him the hidden name, but he might enunciate it in the oath, so that those might quake before that name and oath, who revealed all that was in secret to the children of men. And this is the power of this oath, for it is powerful and strong. And he placed this oath, Akai, in the hand of Michael. And these are the secrets of this oath, and they are strong through his oath. And the heaven was suspended before the world was created, and forever. And through it the earth was founded upon the water. And from the secret recesses of the mountains come beautiful waters, from the creation of the world and unto eternity. And through that oath the sea was created, and as its foundation he set for it the sand against the time of its anger, and it dare not pass beyond it from the creation of the world unto eternity. And through that oath are the depths made fast, and abide and stir not from their place, from eternity to eternity. And through that oath, the sun and the moon complete their course, and deviate not from their ordinance, from eternity to eternity. And through that oath, the stars complete their course, and he calls them by their names, and they answer him from eternity to eternity. And in like manner, the spirits of the water, and of the winds, and of all zephyrs, and their paths from all the quarters of the winds. And there are preserved the voices of the thunder, and the light of the lightnings, and there are preserved the chambers of the hail, and the chambers of the hoarfrost, and the chambers of the mist, and the chambers of the rain and the dew. And all these believe and give thanks before Jah of spirits, and glorify him with all their power. and their food is in every act of thanksgiving. They thank and glorify and extol the name of Jah of spirits forever and ever. And this oath is mighty over them, and through it they are preserved, and their paths are preserved, and their course is not destroyed. Close of the third parable. And there was great joy amongst them, and they blessed and glorified and extolled, because the name of that Son of Man had been revealed unto them. And he sat on the throne of his glory, and the sum of judgment was given unto the Son of Man. And he caused the sinners to pass away and be destroyed from off the face of the earth. And those who have led the world astray, with chains shall they be bound, and in their assemblage place of destruction shall they be imprisoned. And all their works vanish from the face of the earth. And from henceforth there shall be nothing corruptible. For that Son of Man has appeared, and has seated himself on the throne of his glory, and all evil shall pass away before his face. And the word of that Son of Man shall go forth and be strong before Jah of spirits. This is the third parable of Enoch. And it came to pass after this, that his name during his lifetime was raised aloft to that Son of Man and to Jah of spirits from amongst those who dwell on the earth. And he was raised aloft on the chariots of the Spirit, and his name vanished among them. And from that day I was no longer numbered amongst them. And he set me between the two winds, between the north and the west, where the angels took the cords to measure for me the place for the elect and righteous. And there I saw the first fathers and the righteous, who from the beginning dwell in that place. And it came to pass after this that my spirit was translated, and it ascended into the heavens. And I saw the holy sons of God. They were stepping on flames of fire. Their garments were white, and their raiment and their faces shone like snow. And I saw two streams of fire, and the light of that fire shone like hyacinth. And I fell on my face before Jah of spirits. And the angel Michael, one of the archangels, seized me by my right hand and lifted me up and led me forth into all the secrets. And he showed me all the secrets of righteousness. And he showed me all the secrets of the ends of the heaven, and all the chambers of all the stars, and all the luminaries, whence they proceed before the face of the holy ones. And he translated my spirit into the heaven of heavens. And I saw there, as it were, a structure built of crystals. And between those crystals, tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw the girdle which girt that house of fire. and on its four sides were streams full of living fire, and they girt that house. And round about were seraphim, cherubic, and ophanim. And these are they who sleep not and guard the throne of his glory. And I saw angels who could not be counted, 1,000 thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000, encircling that house. And Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Phanuel and the holy angels who are above the heavens go in and out of that house. And they came forth from that house, and Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel, and many holy angels without number, and with them the head of days, his head white and pure as wool, and his raiment indescribable. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured. And I cried with a loud voice, with the spirit of power, and blessed and glorified and extolled. And these blessings which went forth out of my mouth were well-pleasing before that head of days. And that head of days came with Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and Phanuel, thousands and 10,000s of angels without number. Lost passage wherein the Son of Man was described as accompanying the head of days. And Enoch asked one of the angels concerning the Son of Man as to who he was. And he came to me and greeted me with his voice, and said unto me, This is the Son of Man who is born unto righteousness, and righteousness abides over him. And the righteousness of the head of days forsakes him not. And he said unto me, He proclaims unto thee peace in the name of the world to come. For from whence has proceeded peace since the creation of the world, and so shall it be unto thee forever and forever and ever. And all shall walk in his ways, since righteousness never forsaketh him. With him will be their dwelling places, and with them their heritage, and they shall not be separated from him forever and ever and ever. And so shall be the length of days with that Son of Man. And the righteous shall have peace and an upright way in the name of Jah of spirits forever and ever. Enoch 70, the Sun. The book of the courses of the luminaries of the heaven, the relations of each according to their classes, their dominion, and their seasons, according to their names and places of origin, and according to their months, which Uriel, the holy angel who was with me, who is their guide, showed me, and he showed me all their laws exactly as they are, and how it is with regard to all the years of the world, and unto eternity, till the new creation is accomplished, which dureth till eternity. And this is the first law of the luminaries. The luminary, the sun, has its rising in the eastern portals of the heaven, and its setting in the western portals of the heaven. And I saw 6 portals in which the sun rises, and 6 portals in which the sun sets. And the moon rises and sets in these portals. And the leaders of the stars and those whom they lead, 6 in the east and 6 in the west, and all following each other in accurately corresponding order. Also many windows to the right and left of these portals. And the first there goes forth the great luminary named the sun, and his circumference is like the circumference of the heaven, and he is quite filled with illuminating and heating fire. The chariot on which he ascends, the wind drives, and the sun goes down from the heaven and returns through the north in order to reach the east, and is so guided that he comes to the appropriate portal and shines in the face of the heaven. In his way, he rises in the first month in the great portal, which is the 4th, those 6 portals in the cast. And in that 4th portal, from which the sun rises in the first month, are 12 window openings, from which proceed a flame when they are opened in their season. When the sun rises in the heaven, he comes forth through that 4th portal 30 mornings in succession, and sets accurately in the 4th portal in the west of the heaven. And during this period, the day becomes daily longer, and the night nightly shorter, to the 30th morning. On that day, the day is longer than the night by a 9th part, and the day amounts exactly to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts. And the sun rises from that 4th portal and sets in the 4th and returns to the 5th portal of the east 30 mornings, and rises from it and sets in the 5th portal. And then the day becomes longer by 2 parts and amounts to 11 parts. And the night becomes shorter and amounts to 7 parts. And it returns to the east and enters into the 6th portal, and rises and sets in the 6th portal 31 mornings on account of its sign. On that day, the day becomes longer than the night, and the day becomes double the night, and the day becomes 12 parts, and the night is shortened and becomes 6 parts. And the sun mounts up to make the day shorter and the night longer. And the sun returns to the east and enters into the 6th portal, and rises from it and sets 30 mornings. And when 30 mornings are accomplished, the sun decreases by exactly 1 part, and becomes 11 parts, and the night 7. And the sun goes forth from that 6th portal in the west, and goes to the east and rises in the fifth portal for 30 mornings, and sets in the west again in the fifth western portal. On that day, the day decreases by 2 parts, and amounts to 10 parts, and the night to 8 parts. And the sun goes forth from that fifth portal and sets in the fifth portal of the west, and rises in the fourth portal for 31 mornings, on account of its sign, and it sets in the west. On that day, the day is equalized with the night, and becomes of equal length. And the night amounts to 9 parts, and the day to 9 parts. And the sun rises from that portal, and sets in the west, and returns to the east, and rises 30 mornings in the third portal, and sets in the west in the third portal. And on that day, the night becomes longer than the day, and night becomes longer than night, and day shorter than day, till the 30th morning. And the night amounts exactly to 10 parts, and the day to 8 parts. And the sun rises from that third portal, and sets in the third portal in the west, and returns to the east. And for 30 mornings rises in the second portal in the east, and in like manner sets in the second portal in the west of the heaven. And on that day, the night amounts to 11 parts, and the day to 7 parts. And the sun rises on that day from that second portal, and sets in the west in the second portal, and returns to the east into the first portal for 31 mornings, and sets in the first portal in the west of the heaven. And on that day, the night becomes longer, and amounts to the double of the day. And the night amounts exactly to 12 parts, and the day to 6. And the sun has therewith traversed the divisions of its orbit, and turns again on those divisions of his orbit, and enters that portal 30 mornings, and sets also in the west opposite to it. And on that night has the night decreased in length by a 9th part, and the night has become 11 parts, and the day 7 parts. And the sun has returned and entered into the second portal in the east, and returns on those his divisions of his orbit for 30 mornings, rising and setting. And on that day, the night decreases in length, and the night amounts to 10 parts, and the day to 8. And on that day, the sun rises from that portal, and sets in the west, and returns to the east, and rises in the third portal for 31 mornings, and sets in the west of the heaven. On that day, the night decreases and amounts to 9 parts, and the day to 9 parts. And the night is equal to the day, and the year is exactly as to its days, 364. And the length of the day and of the night, and the shortness of the day and of the night arise. Through the course of the sun, these distinctions are made. So it comes that its course becomes daily longer, and its course nightly shorter. And this is the law and the course of the sun, and his return as often as he returns 60 times and rises. The great luminary, which is named the sun, forever and ever. And that which rises is the great luminary, and is so named according to its appearance, according as Jah commanded. As he rises, so he sets, and decreases not, and rests not, but runs day and night, and his light is sevenfold brighter than that of the moon. But as regards size, they are both equal. And after this law, I saw another law dealing with the smaller luminary, which is named the moon. And her circumference is like that circumference of the heaven, and her chariot in which she rides is driven by the wind, and light is given to her in definite measure. And her rising and setting change every month, and her days are like the days of the sun. And when her light is full, it amounts to the 7th part of the light of the sun. And thus she rises. And her first phase in the east comes forth on the 30th morning. And on that day, she becomes visible and constitutes for you the first phase of the moon. On the 30th day, together with the sun, in the portal where the sun rises. And the 1/2 of her goes forth by a 7th part, and her whole circumference is empty, without light, with the exception of 1/7 part of it, and the 14th part of her light. And when she receives 1/7 part of the half of her light amounts to 1/7 part of the half thereof. And she sets with the sun. And when the sun rises, the moon rises with him, and receives the half of 1 part of light. And in that night, in the beginning of her morning, in the commencement of the lunar day, the moon sets with the sun, and is invisible that night with the 14th parts and the half of one of them. And she rises on that day with exactly a 7th part, and comes forth and recedes from the rising of the sun. And in her remaining days, she becomes bright in the remaining 13 parts. And I saw another course, a law for her, and how, according to that law, she performs her monthly revolution. And all these, Uriel, the holy angel, who is the leader of them all, showed to me, and their positions. And I wrote down their positions as he showed them to me. And I wrote down their months as they were, and the appearance of their lights, till 15 days were accomplished. In single seventh parts, she accomplishes all her light in the east, and in single seventh parts, accomplishes all her darkness in the west. And in certain months, she alters her settings, and in certain months, she pursues her own peculiar course. In 2 months, the moon sets with the sun. In those 2 middle portals, the 3rd and the 4th, she goes forth for 7 days and turns about and returns again through the portal where the sun rises, and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes from the sun, and in 8 days enters the 6th portal from which the sun goes forth. And when the sun goes forth from the 4th portal, she goes forth 7 days, until she goes forth from the 5th and turns back again in 7 days into the 4th portal and accomplishes all her light. And she recedes and enters into the 1st portal in 8 days. And she returns again in 7 days into the 4th portal from which the sun goes forth. Thus I saw their position, how the moons rose and the sun set in those days. And if 5 years are added together, the sun has an overplus of 30 days. And all the days which accrue to it for one of those 5 years, when they are full, amounts to 364 days. And the overplus of the sun and of the stars amounts to 6 days. In 5 years, 6 days, every year comes to 30 days. And the moon falls behind the sun and stars to the number of 30 days. And the sun and the stars bring in all the years exactly, so that they do not advance or delay their position by a single day unto eternity, but complete the years with perfect justice in 364 days. In 3 years, there are 1,092 days, and in 5 years, 1,820 days, so that in 8 years, there are 2,912 days. For the moon alone, the days amount in 3 years to 1,062 days, and in 5 years, she falls 50 days behind. To the sum of 1,770, there is to be added 1,062 days. And in 5 years, there are 1,770 days, so that for the moon, the days in 8 years amount to 2,832 days. For in 8 years she falls behind to the amount of 80 days. All the days she falls behind in 8 years are 80. And the year is accurately completed in conformity with their world stations. And the stations of the sun, which rise from the portals through which the sun rises and sets 30 days. And the leaders of the heads of the thousands, who are placed over the whole creation and over all the stars, have also to do with the 4 intercalary days, being inseparable from their office, according to the reckoning of the year. And these render service on the 4 days, which are not reckoned in the reckoning of the year. And owing to them, men go wrong therein. For those luminaries truly render service on the world stations, one in the first portal, one in the third portal of the heaven, one in the fourth portal, and one in the 6th portal. And the exactness of the year is accomplished through its separate 364 stations. For the signs and the times and the years and the days, the angel Uriel showed to me, whom Jah of glory has set forever over all the luminaries of the heaven, in the heaven and in the world, that they should rule on the face of the heaven and be seen on the earth, and be leaders for the day and the night, the sun, moon, and stars, and all the ministering creatures which make their revolution in all the chariots of the heaven. In like manner, 12 doors Uriel showed me, open in the circumference of the sun's chariot in the heaven, through which the rays of the sun break forth, and from them is warmth diffused over the earth, when they are opened at their appointed seasons. And for the winds and the spirit of the dew, when they are opened, standing open in the heavens at the ends. As for the 12 portals in the heaven, at the ends of the earth, out of which go forth the sun, moon, and stars, and all the works of heaven in the east and in the west. There are many windows open to the left and right of them, and one window at its appointed season produces warmth, corresponding as these do to those doors from which the stars come forth according as he has commanded them, and wherein they set corresponding to their number. And I saw chariots in heaven, running in the world, above those portals in which revolve the stars that never set. And one is larger than all the rest, and it is that makes its course through the entire world. And at the ends of the earth I saw 12 portals opened to all the quarters of the heaven, from which the winds go forth and blow over the earth. 3 of them are open on the face, the east of the heavens, and 3 in the west, and 3 on the right, the south of the heaven, and 3 on the left, the north. And the 3 first of those of the east, and 3 are of the north, and 3 after those on the left of the south, and 3 of the west. Through 4 of these come winds of blessing and prosperity. And from those 8 come hurtful winds. When they are sent, they bring destruction on all the earth, and on the water upon it, and on all who dwell thereon, and on everything which is in the water and on the land. And the first wind from those portals, called the east wind, comes forth through the first portal, which is in the east, inclining towards the south. From it come forth desolation, drought, heat, and destruction. And through the second portal in the middle comes what is fitting, and from it there come rain and fruitfulness and prosperity and dew. And through the third portal, which lies towards the north, come cold and drought. And after these come forth the south winds through 3 portals. Through the first portal of them, inclining to the east, comes forth a hot wind. And through the middle portal next to it come forth fragrant smells and dew and rain and prosperity and health. And through the third portal, lying to the west, comes forth dew and rain, locust and desolation. And after these, the north winds, from which the 7th portal in the east, come dew and rain, locust and desolation. And from the middle portal come in a direct direction, health and rain and dew and prosperity. And through the third portal in the west come cloud and hoarfrost, and snow and rain, and dew and locust. And after these 4 are the west winds. Through the first portal, adjoining the north, come forth dew and hoarfrost, and cold and snow and frost. And from the middle portal come forth dew and rain, and prosperity and blessing. And through the last portal, which adjoins the south, come forth drought and desolation, and burning and destruction. And the 12 portals of the 4 quarters of the heaven are therewith completed, and all their laws and all their plagues and all their benefactions have I shown to thee, my son Methuselah. All right, so I'm going to stop here at Enoch 75, where I'll pick up tomorrow. I'll see what my day looks like, but if you like the night, I can meet you for another night reading, live streaming. So we'll pick back up Enoch 75. I wanted to read some of your comments. Let's see what you're saying. What did you think about the portals? I have never read such amazing, like Enoch is so exciting to me. I know for you too, right? It's just an exciting book. What are you all thinking? You like the night readings? Hey, Sean. Hey, Dana. Your mother used to call you Methuselah. Oh, wow. I think we all joked about Methuselah. I don't know. The kids would joke about that a lot to describe someone old. But old to us and old to them is not the same, right? They were definitely much healthier. Hey, Jay Blair. How you doing? Oh, because you were... I like that word. Dana, thanks for joining, everyone. I'm going to log off now. And Carrie says she likes the night readings. Okay, so I like them too. Hey, Victoria. Yeah, you think it's exciting? Yeah, the Book of Enoch is exciting. I'm getting a lot of revelation reading it. And I just want to let you know, if you want to practice just speaking, and I noticed like it's helping me get better at, even some of the words are hard to, pronounce or whatever. But if you just try, I mean, do your best. Don't be intimidated by it. If you want to read it, read it. Carrie is asking, so is portal a euphemism or actual? I take it, Carrie, as an actual portal, to be honest, because it describes the way that the world is like a clock, like a big gigantic clock with precision. So I really think that it's, for me, I take it literal. Yes, sweet dreams, Gemini love. Thank you. Blessings, Tina. Blessings, everyone. Sean, Jay. Everybody, if I didn't get to you, just know that I thank you for joining me on Facebook. Thank you. And I'll come over and see you all on Facebook and catch up with you all. I don't get to see your comments over here still. We're having a little trouble with the Facebook interface from StreamYard here. So we're just going to be patient with the technology. So thank you for everything, all the loving and encouragement. And we are going to get through the Book of Enoch. Look how far we've gotten already. We're almost finished, actually. So you all are helping me. When I got that feeling to, I don't know what to call it. I shouldn't call it a feeling. Feelings are not, we don't want to go on feelings, right? But it was a calling, I'll call it. A calling to read the Book of Enoch out loud, even though that's an intimidating thought. I thank you all for being patient with me as I'm reading through it. Yeah, we're getting through it pretty good. So I'll try to maybe do a few more readings, maybe 2 a day, so we can just go through it. I mean, it's no rush or anything, but maybe that would be nice. I'll see how I can do that. I'm calling them pop-up readings, especially if I do it outside of the night hours, okay? Hey, Rosie Pie, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Love you all. And I will catch you I can't say tomorrow, but later. Later today. All right. Blessings. you.